We're going to get started. Can I get a roll call of the members, please?
Supervisor Reynolds. Here. Supervisor Jeffrey Trout. Here. Supervisor Brownell. Here. Supervisor Latini. Supervisor Borst.
Here.
Supervisor Hayes. Supervisor Schmitter.
Here.
Supervisor Kronenwater. Here. Supervisor Reinhardt.
Here.
Supervisor Partee. Here. Supervisor Heisen.
Here.
Supervisor Don Trout. Supervisor Enslow.
Here.
And Supervisor Shipley.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Please join us for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America,
to the
to the republic for which it
one
stands,
nation,
one nation.
God,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
for all.
Thank you, everyone. Okay. First up, awesomest part of the year, we have the Brightest Star Award, Supervisor Heisen. Kick that off.
Okay.
You got the certificates. Oh, Annie.
Okay, to start off, little information here. The Brightest Star Award recognizes up to 4 sixth grade students who consistently work to their academic ability, are involved in the school or community, are responsible, respectful, and compassionate. So tonight, we are pleased to announce Phoebe Leo, Anna Polino, Joey Mull, and Joshua Borth as the 2025 winners. First off, Phoebe is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Brady Leo of Romulus. Phoebe was nominated by her sixth grade teachers at Romulus. Phoebe is a hardworking student who cares about her grades and has maintained high honor or honor roll all year. Phoebe loves art. She is a fantastic artist who often seeks out our art teachers when she is finished with classwork to do extra projects. She also enjoys sports and wants to play modified sports next year. She is also very respectful, has great manners, and is a problem solver. Phoebe is always willing to help her peers work when they are struggling or just having a bad day. So congratulations, Phoebe. Please come up here with your parents. Anybody taking pictures?
Thank you.
You want to get a picture?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Looks fancy.
There you go. We'll shake your hand. Where's the camera? You got the camera? Oh, over here. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Next up, Anna is the daughter of Ms. Rhonda Jasper of Seneca Falls and Mr. Anthony Polino of Penfield. Anna was nominated by her sixth grade teachers at Seneca Falls Middle School. Anna has always been a curious kid and learner. She shines in art and any project that involves drawing or creativity. She enjoys most classes and tries her hardest. Anna has been a part of the community Thanksgiving since the beginning and helps decorate with her Girl Scout troop. She is currently a junior in Girl Scouts and worked with the troop to earn their silver award last year. Many of Anna's friends call her when they're upset or need to talk. Anna takes this responsibility seriously and demonstrates good judgment. Anna is a confident, true to herself, and encourages everyone around her to do the same. Congratulations, Anna. Please come up. Camera? Okay. Right there. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Again, congratulations. Congratulations. Next up, Next up is Joey. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Joe Mull of Seneca Falls. He was nominated by his sixth grade teachers at the Seneca Falls Middle School. Joey has excelled academically this year. He is incredibly conscientious and has made the principal's list every quarter. In addition to being in advanced math, playing the saxophone, participating in an all-county band, and taking piano lessons outside of school. Joey is a leader. He presented to the Board of Education twice and recently joined the Student Superintendent Advisory Committee. Joey is an empath by nature and notices when someone needs to be struggling and always tries to treat other people the way he wants to be treated. He tries hard to keep his word, not to let others down, and be someone that can be relied on. Anyone that knows Joe would vouch for his kindness, respect, and friendly nature. Congratulations, Joey. Next up is somebody we know around here anyway, his father anyway, is Joshua Borst. He is the son of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Borst of Ovid. Joshua was nominated by his sixth grade teachers at South Seneca. Joshua has consistently performed at a high level throughout the year. He goes above and beyond in all his academic areas, continually challenging himself. His strong work ethic and ability to make advanced, higher level connections set him apart. He shows great sportsmanship and leadership. Joshua has been playing football and basketball since third grade. When in a group setting, he will lead the group by listening to others' ideas and encouraging others who may lack self-confidence. He is very well liked by his peers. Students gravitate to him. Joshua consistently models excellence, maintains an impressive balance between academics, sports, and extracurricular activities. Congratulations, Joshua.
I gotta shake his hand first. Congratulations.
Okay, we got a picture here.
Good for Joe. Nice.
That ends it, but congratulations again to all the people here, and you have a lot of good turnout here, so this is good for the
Congratulations, Joe. Good stuff. Good job, Bob. Marty,
Okay.
so you did the right thing.
This is the, if you give it to your son, stop calling.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He gets it from his mom.
Yeah. Good aunt.
I want you to come visit. I want you to tell me which room is yours and all about the house. My room was up the stairs to the right. To the right, that's right.
Hey, congratulations, Joe.
Thanks, man. I would love if you stopped. I'd love if you come and walk through the house. Okay. Please do. I'd love it. I'd love it. Your sister stopped at dating you. She did. Absolutely. It was great. Okay.
All right. Next up, we have a presentation from the project director, Teresa Lahr, with STEPS. We got a screen presentation, I believe. No? Yes?
Good evening.
Yes.
I'm pretty energized seeing all those kids. I hope they all can stay in our county. And maybe Josh could teach you a couple things there, Joe. Sorry. Well, good evening. My name is Teresa Lahr, and I am the project director of Seneca Towns, Engaging People for Solutions. We have raised our family here in Waterloo, and I seriously mean it when I hope some of those shining stars can stay around in our community. I feel fortunate that our daughter is a Waterloo graduate and a principal over at Lafayette School. Our son, he was in the Air Force, and he ended up down in the southern part of the country due to his career path and so on. But we miss them, and he's actually coming home in a couple of weeks, and can't wait to be here in our Finger Lakes in Seneca County and out on our waterways. And so I think sometimes we forget how fortunate we are to live here in the Finger Lakes and in Seneca County. So once you've had that privilege, you don't lose it, and you're eager to come back. Anyway, tonight I'm here to show just a snippet of a documentary that our Greater Rochester Health Foundation had put together shortly before the fire, and then did a little addition, about 3 neighborhood health status improvement projects. One of them was urban in the city, and the two others were rural projects. So this is just edited and focusing on steps, of course. And I think that it will give you a great idea of what a neighborhood health status improvement initiative is and what it does. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. I wanted to say that STEPS has launched in 2013, and we've been here over a decade in the southern end of Seneca County. Like my son, he moved down south. I've spent a lot of time in the south end with some of the finest people and partners that I've ever encountered in my career. I am transitioning into a part-time status at the end of this month, sort of semi-retirement, although I will still stay on as a sustainability advisor for the project. We have a dream team, a young woman named Emily Hoffman that has been with us over a year, and she will take the leadership of the project. And we have a woman, Dr. O'Keefe out of Lodi, that is our community engagement coordinator. Tonight, I think Deborah Putney is here. I know she's here because she rode with me, but she is our technical advisor for the asset-based community development approach that we use. Asset-based community development simply means looking at all the good things in our community, and we do have them on the southern end and in our entire county, and building upon them. In the film clip, you'll see mention of the asset-based community development approach that we use, and it's really relationship-driven, resident-driven, and giving people the opportunity, average residents, to take leadership roles and make good things happen. Through that approach, we've implemented, and I say we, residents, and with our support in any way that we can, be it little seed money or making connections, they have carried out 121 resident health promotion projects. They range from very simple, straightforward exercise opportunities, because we're about increasing health and well-being. We know our zip code matters, and our opportunities to jobs and fitness opportunities and jobs, and I already said jobs, but to give you an example of it, an asset-based community development approach is that when we asset mapped in the first year of the project, we noticed that there was over 200 small businesses, mom and pop, sole proprietorships, and we said, geez, well, that's really kind of cool that we have all that going on, and the residents had come up with a list. So what could we do to build upon that? And that is when we devised our micro enterprise opportunity. And that is like a low interest rate grant, or excuse me, loan and a grant. And it really has made a difference in some of the beautification projects and cohesive design in the village and so on. So I think that I probably just tell you again that Greater Rochester Health Foundation has funded us for over a decade, and the grantee is my employer, who is Pivotal Public Health Partnership. So you may know him. Scott and his crew work with them on, you've heard that name, on their CHAWS, the Community Health Assessments, and CHIPS, Community Health Improvement Plans, over the years. They're very committed to our project and the carrying on of this well into the future. We're working on a sustainability initiatives right now, and I guess without further ado, we'll take a look at the clip and then have any comments or questions for me. Where's the IT guy? Or do I got to do this? I can do this.
What happens when you invest directly into people, places, and neighborhoods? When you empower residents to share in decision-making and shape the future of their communities? The Greater Rochester Health Foundation set out to answer these questions. I'm Hannah Castelli, a program officer at the Greater Rochester Health Foundation. We're a grant-making organization driven by the voices of community, working in partnership to improve health outcomes across our 9-county region. In 2008, we launched the Neighborhood Health Status Improvement Initiative, or NHSI for short, our first targeted strategy, built on the understanding that place matters, that where you live can shape your health. NHSI has invested in both urban and rural communities, aiming to improve the well-being of people living in under-resourced areas. So what exactly is NHSI? The Neighborhood Health Status Improvement Initiative is designed to drive change across social, physical, and economic contexts, ultimately improving health in low-income communities. It emphasizes the importance of local residents and stakeholders identifying, mobilizing, and leveraging community assets to improve health outcomes. Grantee partners play a key role, developing and implementing strategic plans through 5 distinct phases. Phase 1 began with engaging and organizing residents and stakeholders while completing an asset-based mapping of the community. Phase 2 included expanding partnerships, building infrastructure, and developing a community health improvement plan, which was implemented and further refined across phases 3 and 4. And finally, Phase 5 focused on long-term sustainability, policy, and systems change. Over the course of 11 years, successful completion of all 5 phases represents an investment of approximately $2 million.
When you think long-term investments, buy-in is crucial. And that buy-in is important because oftentimes we want to see things happen quickly. And the changes and the challenges that we're coming up against didn't happen quickly. They happened over a long period of time. Having that kind of buy-in from the beginning is crucial because there will be bumps in the road. There'll be good things and there'll be challenges. And if there's that commitment to the long-term vision of the work, and there's an understanding that you have a skilled staff and team that are working diligently daily to make sure that the successes are elevated, and if there are challenges that they're brought forward and worked through, that work continues and it's important.
To date, 3 projects have successfully completed or have almost completed all 5 phases of the initiative. In this documentary, you'll hear from project leaders, staff, partners, and most importantly, residents who share their experiences and reflections on how this work is transforming their communities. Launched in December 2013, Project STEPS, Seneca Town's Engaging People for Solutions, has empowered residents of South Seneca County, New York, to address health inequities in their rural communities. Focusing on the towns of Covert, Lodi, Ovid, and Romulus, STEPS has brought together residents, organizations, and stakeholders across their expansive 166 square mile area.
I think what the draw for STEPS was, it was like, this is really going to be a great vehicle with a vision of how do you make a neighborhood out of these 4 different townships. Everybody started to think of themselves as, oh, well, wait a minute, we share a lot of common concerns, common desires, common dreams, so that people understood that there was some value to steps. It's like, oh, somebody can give me a little seed money to be able to do this event, to do a festival. We can give you a grant to try to get your business off the ground. They've also seen, oh yeah, Steps is the book boxes, and Steps is the day of service, and Steps is the resident promotion projects, and Steps is the place on the corner down next to the pizza place. Steps really kind of brings the towns all together, has branded the south end of the county with an identity.
Residents having a say, and they're closest to the work and closest to what they're passionate about. They're closest to the issues and things that may need some improvement or correction. There are a lot of communiversity ideas. Communiversity is simply a way of somebody in the community teaching a skill that they have expertise with their neighbor. And, if there's some funds that are needed to support that or supply, we do that.
If it wasn't for the Steps, who's helping a small business as myself to stay open, I won't be able to do the things that I like to do and cater to the people who's coming in, the tourists, the local people that also need a great experience. They're not just giving money. They're like, hey, we're here, we're your friends, and we're part of the community, and we want you to try.
Well, our Lions Club has been involved in many different projects.
Got to catch his breath.
Yeah. Hey.
If you go around town, you'll see the different improvements and things that have taken place. The neighborhoods have been kind of extended family, and it's all been part of the Steps.
The types of projects that we do help the people here on the south end who tend to be the underdogs. If they can get food here, that frees up dollars to buy fuel to heat their homes, to pay for the electric bill. And the medicine that they have to buy. Since we've had Steps here, there's so much more pride.
There was this desire on the part of the foundation to be very much resident-driven. But you can't be exclusively resident-driven if you don't have a way to provide those residents with the skills that they need to be able to organize events.
The physical space of the Steps office right on the main street in Ovid has made a huge difference in community engagement. People can stop by for brainstorming, advice, referrals. Youth obviously need a lot of things to do. So we saw the youth today depict a bowling alley or a movie theater. They're thinking about what is it that we can improve upon and realize some of our dreams.
In the 11 years of Steps, we have definitely grown from people saying, what the heck is that? To, oh, we really need to make sure Steps is in on this. Using the social determinants of health, making sure that everybody understands that everything needs to be integrated. You can't be healthy in mind, body, and spirit if your community's not healthy economically, educationally, environmentally. I think that is a model that's successful and that needs to be replicated.
Breaking right now, a massive fire tearing through the village of Ovid.
Hundreds of firefighters are on scene battling the flames as buildings collapse around them.
By, the middle of the night, 3 or 4 in the morning, it was over. It was horrific. That whole block was beautified by the improvements from Steps. So it was extra tragic. I think it reveals the impact Steps has had on the community because the residents knew right away, like within hours, they had helped set up a temporary office space in the library for Steps. The youth were involved and made signage of where people could go to get help for Steps. And the residents brought in all like essentials or office supplies, anything that any of the displaced folks and people who lost jobs needed. And I don't think that could have or would have happened had Steps not been in the community for 10 years. Pivotal is committed to keeping steps around because we think it is so vital to South Seneca County. So we have been looking for different ways to continue the program.
Well, there it is. So, yeah, the fire stuff is a little hard to relive every time, another little trauma, but I love that Michelle Foster, our executive director of Pivotal, is committed to the project and the sustainability of it. She, has all sorts of networks in the Finger Lakes region. One of them is FLIPA, which is the Forward Leading IPA. And she immediately contacted with them, and we were able to we're just finishing up actually some food vouchers for everybody that was displaced by the fire. And there's also a lot of emphasis on food insecurity in that area, and we have rolled out a Healthy Hand program here in the full county, starting actually in Waterloo at one of the schools here. So that's what I see when we wrapped up. I had kind of mixed feelings about looking at the fire and so on, but as Matt Kuhlenbeck, the executive director of the foundation, had said, these are long-term things. It's just like we're looking at Willard or, the LDC formation and the redevelopment of Ovid. These things are going to take time, but we have been through floods, COVID, and now the fire, and things are already looking up, and progress is being made, right? It's just when you trust and empower just your community and give them opportunities to lead, it really matters. I've actually prepared that sort of aligns with this presentation, phase 1, phase 2, throughout, all that I could fit on a double-sided page is some of the accomplishments of the STEPS project through its lifespan. So I guess the next big thing is a Risers community meeting. It'll happen on the 14th of July at the Ovid Fire Department. If anybody wants to come and learn more about that, that is a place where we also have a wonderful evaluation coach, Alice Mann. So this isn't just touchy-feely stuff, it's research-based, what we do, and we have a participatory evaluation process where people are asked through surveys, focus groups, actual direct residents do direct observations of our areas and our commercial districts in our 3 towns, or 3 villages. So anyway, you could learn more about STEPS, but meanwhile, any comments or questions for me? Got nothing to say. Okay.
And you're always on the One Seneca.
I love One Seneca. Do you guys go? I don't see all of you. You got to go to One Seneca. It's 1.5 hour brief weekly briefing, and just really highlights all that's going on, even beyond our county, in the city, in the state, and it's just a real worthwhile investment of a half an hour. Yeah. Yes, I just want to say thank you to the board. I mean, all the government. Mike said don't say anything about him, but Mike and Scott and workforce development, you all are amazing partners and have leveraged so much of our work. And I just thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Learn not to go up until that thing's up.
Hey, Paul, all that green stuff is back on my lake. That freaking Red Creek was roaring when I came home last night. Holy shit. I go down there this morning. What?
Okay, next up we have one petitioner tonight. Tony, you here? Okay.
Well, I want to thank the board for this opportunity to address you, and my name is Anthony Del Plato. I live in Interlaken. I'm a chef and gardener. I'm happiest when I'm harvesting my fruits, vegetables, and herbs from the garden. I buy fish and meat locally as much as possible. This is what I feed my family, friends, and guests. I pay attention to how food is grown, processed, and distributed. Recently, a peer-reviewed scientific study has confirmed that glyphosate, the primary ingredient chemical in Roundup, the world's most widely used pesticide, causes multiple kinds of cancers, even at the safe human exposure level. The web of life is being weakened by how we feed ourselves and how we create energy for tools to alter our environment that have made life what it is today. When nature isn't healthy, then neither are we. For the first time in history, humanity has the power to destroy the natural world. Our technologies can undermine the foundations of life on Earth. The genome, the atom, even species are threatened. Cyanobacteria have existed for 3.5 billion years. It releases oxygen into the atmosphere. Why is it that in recent years it has become a hazardous algal blooms? What have we been doing that has made our lakes and streams toxic to swim in and drink? Drinking water is still a significant source of exposure to polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFASs. Scientists are warning us that popular foods could be contaminated with PFASs, rice, eggs, and more, by the thousands of engineered forever chemicals. Denial will make recovery and regeneration more difficult and take longer. What if bodies of water were guaranteed the kinds of legal rights that would criminalize actions that make our water and resources toxic? What if communities had the authority to enact laws that prevented pollution, extraction, and waste dumping? A new bill has been introduced into the New York State Assembly by Patrick Burke on March 19th, 2025. If it becomes law, the Great Lakes and State Waters Bill of Rights would recognize the unalienable and fundamental right to exist, persist, flourish, naturally evolve, regenerate, and be restored for the Great Lakes and other watersheds and ecosystems throughout New York. Assemblyman Burke said, quote, "Protecting one watershed or regulating toxins one at a time isn't enough. All New Yorkers are connected through our water, and so this bill protects us all," unquote. When we work with nature, the potential for restoration is vast. By improving agricultural practices, restore ecosystems, integrate natural infrastructure, we can enhance biodiversity and improve public health and support sustainable communities. Governing is about creating guideposts or laws and limits for human enterprise. It means putting the rights of ecosystems at the center, but ultimately connected to all the related natural communities, including humans. Unfortunately, government and the law today has been corrupted by power. Can You Handle the Truth is a diverse collection of published articles and blogs about people and nature written by the Community Environment Legal Defense Fund through a lens of truth-telling. Sometimes the truth can be hard to face, but in order to reckon with the systemic and cultural challenges and changes we will need to make for a future grounded in right relationship to the land we live upon, truth is the first step. The CELDF's mission is to build sustainable communities by assisting people to assert their right to local self-government and the rights of nature. In closing, Consider the rule of three for a simple but effective way to demonstrate why we are nature and why a rights of nature legal framework is necessary. How long can you go without breathing? 3 minutes. How long can you go without water? 3 days. How long can you go without food? 3 weeks. This is how we are linked to, part of, and reliant on the natural world, which includes all the people we interact with on a daily basis, and the non-human world that provides for us and every other living being. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is open privilege of the floor. If anybody from the public would like to address the board, now would be the time to do so.
Here he comes again.
State your name, where you're from.
Yes.
Thank you.
My name is Frank Blaskowitz. My wife and I live on West Bayard Street in Seneca Falls. And I am here to support Tony's petition. But I really think, I was here last month, and I think the best support for Tony's petition is what Jeff Shipley presented last month when it came to where do people come and how do they spend their time when they visit our county. And I spent a little time in this after Jeff's presentation. And if you go through this, there are actually over 50 photographs of water or nature. And whether it's the canal between the lakes or Montezuma National Wildlife Preserve or Refuge for, I know my wife and I have been there, and it's great for bird watching, hiking, and just enjoying nature. So I guess I'm just pleading with you to continue to protect our water, our nature, our environment, and secure the rights of our water and the rights of our nature. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Hi, good evening. My name is Maureen Reister. I have replaced Tim Windrill as the Municipal and Community Relations Manager for NYSEG. I cover Seneca County along with Cayuga, Wayne, and Onondaga counties for basically municipal and community relations. So I am your direct contact to NYSEG. I will certainly be in touch whenever we have outages for day-to-day instances that come up with constituent concerns. Please reach out to me. I just came today to introduce myself. I thought I would catch up with everyone after the meeting, but thought I would take advantage of the privilege of the floor. So,
thank you.
It's great to connect with you. In Lodi, we've been, maybe for the last 10, 12 years, as more and more infrastructure, wineries, et cetera, are added to the grid. Right? You're representing NYSEG, correct? Our voltage drops. So just for example, we were running, let's say, 96, 97 volts per leg over the weekend. So that's causing brownouts. It's been going on for about 10 years. NYSEG told us that the primary wires and systems that supply from Voice basically are from the 1940s, and they don't want to invest in infrastructure. The neighboring town to our south also had issues with their lake water, raw water pumps. They were about $40,000 a piece and kept failing because of low voltage. So it's definitely an issue for our community, and it costs us money. Refrigerators, anything with a motor is affected. Refrigerator lifespan, freezers, mini splits, they all have a tolerance window. There's actually an ASTM standard for the national grid in the United States to follow for primary electric, the low voltage, and emergency. You guys are way below that. So maybe there's something you can do to advocate for us because it affects a significant number of residents in the Lodi Township as well as one business, which is at the end of the line.
Okay, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Obviously, I just started after Tim retired at the end of April, but that is something good for me to work on. And I also, I sent an email to the chairman about hopefully setting up a meeting with some of the supervisors, anyone who's interested. NYSEG recently filed our new rate case with the Public Service Commission, and we would love the opportunity to explain to you in detail what's involved in that rate plan, which includes upgrades to our infrastructure. So it would be good opportunity for you to voice those concerns to those above me. So, look out.
Is there a way that you can maybe get Amanda your contact information? So
I have cards, and
Okay, that'd
I'll
be great. Thank
sneak them over there in just a minute.
Thank
Okay.
Supervisor Partee?
Yeah, so we do have walk-in hours at all of our branches. So, for example, in Auburn, we have walk-in hours on Mondays and Thursdays. And I'm trying to think of, Geneva also has walk-in hours. Something that NYSEG has been doing is holding community connection events throughout the area. We are planning one for Wayne County. I just hosted one in Port Byron in Cayuga County. And we've been putting on these events, and we wish we would have a lot of people show up for them. We haven't had as many people as we would like, but what that community connection event looks like is we have 6 customer service reps that are there with their computers, and it's just first come, first serve. You have an open chance to walk in and talk about your bill, figure out payment plans, understand different things. Smart meters are a hot topic everyone has questions about. We have different advocates, energy advocates there also to help talk about different programs and things that we offer. So I hope that answers your question, but on our website we do have those available hours for walk-ins, but also look for maybe those community connection events. I'm going to set one up in the next couple of weeks, like I said, in Wayne County. Any other questions? Yes, you can walk into the Geneva location for sure.
I walked in and asked why my utility doubled here. Every cornfield turning into a solar field, and nothing's changed at my house except my utility bill doubled.
Right. We do have a bill explainer, a graphic that we recently released. I believe that was sent to everyone also, and that it's a good infographic that shows how the bill breaks down. NYSEG is the delivery of your energy. Your supplier is whomever you choose, since energy was deregulated. And so just this year compared to last year, the cost of energy has doubled. So yes, look into where that solar is going, because it's not being used here. What is that?
Why did it double?
Those are things that I don't have the answer to. I just started in energy.
Still flowing. Gina is still cooking. All the solar panels and everywhere. I don't know how.
My background is economic development. Now I'm in the utility and government relations, so I'm still learning. But I'd be happy to chat with you about it or set up a meeting with someone else who's been there longer and knows more than me.
Not everybody's going to shoot you tonight, so don't worry.
That's fine.
Welcome aboard. Thank you very much.
And you mentioned meetings in other counties. Do you have one scheduled for Seneca County?
I don't have one scheduled for Seneca County. We're happy to do them. We just want to do them where we will get a lot of people. So, we put a lot of resources. At our event we had just in Port Byron, I think we had 12 employees or 15 employees. We only had 18 attendees. So, and we really pushed it out. I was hoping to get more people. So I don't know what that says.
Got to get the word out, yeah.
Maybe people just like to be vocal, but they won't actually show up when we do the events. So we can talk about doing one here, but certainly direct people, because we do have this, it's exactly the same, walk-in hours at Geneva or Auburn. So.
Thank you.
I think that gentleman has a question for you.
When will we know, or how will we know if you're going to schedule one for Seneca County? Because I have also called multiple times and gotten no curious for my doubling of my bill.
Okay, so good example. If you're hearing from a constituent that he has a concern, get his name and address, phone number, account number if you can, email it to me, and I will get that moved up the food chain and take care of it for you.
Perfect.
But how will we know when you're going to have a meeting for Seneca County?
This is the very first moment that I've had a request for it, so I would need to discuss it. We've been requested to do one in Wayne County, and we are going to be doing one possibly in Livingston County as well. So it's kind of as the need arises. We've been doing this outreach as an attempt to reach some of the people who aren't close enough to a branch to do the walk-ins. So, but like I said.
If we would get an email or a letter.
So how NYSEG will do a press release about it. It'll be on NYSEG's website. Myself, when I was doing one in Cayuga County, I pushed it out to all the town clerks, and there was a flyer. I dropped off paper copies so they could hang them up in different places. If the towns have social media or email distribution groups that they can send out to their constituents, however, the municipalities can help us advertise to get the word out. Like I said, NYSEG puts a lot of time and brings a lot of people there, and so we want them to be busy.
I'd like to suggest there's major media, Finger Lakes Times, Finger Lakes One, Seneca County Shopper. There's a variety of ways you get the word out, as well as emails. Who goes to the NYSEG website and that's a problem.
Yep. Well, and that's why I push it out to all the municipalities, and I hope that they use their local channels to help publicize it. I'm most familiar with Cayuga County, where I'm from, so I'm still learning about Seneca County. I am familiar with Finger Lakes One and some of the other publications here, though. But
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Okay, next up, get a motion to approve the minutes for June 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any special committee reports tonight? Supervisor Partee?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I attended the Intercounty Association of Western New York meeting a couple weeks ago in Yates County. If you didn't get an email from NYSAC with the 2025 New York State Legislative Session Summary, it is out there. It's also on their website. Patrick Cummings from NYSAC was at our meeting. There was a couple bills that he specifically pointed out during the meeting. I'm just going to touch on them briefly, but either if you want the session summary, I can send it to you if you didn't already get it, or Amanda can as well. There is a bill out there it's passed both houses to create new judicial districts. So basically they're expanding the number of judicial districts from 13 to 15. And it basically redraws the Supreme Court district lines in Western New York, adding more judges in areas with larger cities. So Monroe County, Erie County, and Onondaga County are going to get a separate judicial district for them. Seneca County is going to be moved from the 7th district to the 5th district. And there's some other changes as well. So that's in the summary. Or you can look at the Senate and Assembly bills associated with that. A couple of the other ones he really pointed out. I'm sure the Public Health Department is already aware it passed both houses, but permitting local health officials to request autopsy and toxicology reports, that was one they specifically mentioned. And then one I think that's really relevant. For every county that was there, EMS, it passed both houses legislation to remove the emergency medical services expenditures from the real property tax cap. So you can take the expenses for EMS above the 2%, assuming the governor passes that bill. There's also legislation that passed both houses directing counties to develop EMS plans. And as soon as the governor signs this legislation, assuming she does, counties will be required to submit a plan to the New York State Department of Health and SEMSCO within 6 months of the bill's enactment. However, there's no requirement to implement the plan, but we will have to have a plan. So those are just a couple of them that they really highlighted. The solar tax calculator, if you know it was litigated, that lawsuit is now moot. The solar tax calculator stands, so assessors are pretty limited in how they can assess solar projects, which obviously affects our real property taxes. And I think that's pretty much it. Any questions? Or if there's anything specific, I can try to get you more information. Anything in the legislative summary, if you want to, fight for or against, now is the time to look at them and, contact our state reps or a letter directly to the governor, actually. So, any questions?
Supervisor Partee, what would that EMS plan or the ambulance service plan look like? What would it require?
I can give you Senate Bill 7501-A and Assembly Bill 8086-A. Those really lay it out, but it's basically directing counties in coordination with their towns and villages and Regional Emergency Medical Services Council to develop and maintain a comprehensive plan for providing coordinated and reliable EMS within the county. So I don't know if the plan we've already paid for would suffice. I know there was another county present that said we already paid a significant amount of money to have a study done. Maybe we can just send that plan and say we're done. I'm not sure if that will work for us.
Thank you.
So.
Supervisor Reinhardt.
Supervisor, just to clarify, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but you made the comment that the EMS plan, we have to approve it. We have to submit one, but we don't have to use it. Who makes that decision whether that plan gets used? Is it the county that makes that decision? Is it EMS providers?
I don't have that answer. So that could be a good question to ask NISEC, actually. That's it.
Thank you. Supervisor Shipley.
Thank you, Chairman. As the board's representative to the Finger Lakes Regional Airport, I want to thank those supervisors who attended the Wednesday 6/18/25 Chamber of Commerce After Hours event showcasing our airport. The Chamber was very pleased with the overall attendance of over 80 folks there. Many people remarked to me about the gem we have here in Seneca County. I only wish we had more time to showcase the airport, the 5 businesses that operate out there, and our airport operations, and the future potential to help Seneca County grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else have any special committee reports? Okay. I don't have any remarks tonight. County Attorney? Thank you. Communications.
Communications 110 through 128 have been received and filed.
Thank you very much. First up, we have number 12, Supervisor Partee, Ways and Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board of Supervisors authorizes the amendments to the 2025 Seneca County budget.
Have a second? Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Oh, another supervisor already. Number 13, Supervisor Heisen.
Yes, thank you. 2025 Workforce Development Youth Bureau Board's Brightest Star Recognition.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Better not be. Carried. All right. Number 14.
Yes. Seneca County Board of Supervisors approved the appointment of Finger Lakes Workforce Investment Board members Z. Levinson, Antonio, and Nye.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 15.
Seneca County Board of Supervisors approved the appointment of Finger Lakes Workforce Investment Board members Lucinda Trask and Ryan Davis.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 16.
Seneca County Board of Supervisors to approve the 2025-26 Supervision and Treatment Services juvenile program, SJP plan. And Chairman of the Board of Supervisors approved the electronic submission of the plan based on county attorney review and approval.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 17.
Board of Supervisors authorizes acceptance of $215,009 in contract funds from Wayne Finger Lake Bossier, Seneca Falls Central School District, Waterloo Central School District, and South Seneca Central School District to support school-based substance abuse prevention and school-based clinic services for the year 2025-26.
Support.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Just,
Supervisor Jeff Trout?
Mr. Chairman, one comment. A lot of times we'll see money kind of funnel through us to the school districts. Just kind of thought, looking at this again, it might be useful at some point to have those districts, whether it's the superintendents or whomever, actually talk to us about how, I mean, I know our department heads do a great job between Scott, Margaret, and Mike, but it might be nice to have them actually speak to how these funds are used. And improve the communication between this level of government and that level of government.
Good point. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, next up, Supervisor Cronewater, number 18.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Introducing proposed local law C of 2025, amending local law 2 of the year 2024 titled, "A Local Law Authorizing Youth Ages 12 and 13 Years of Age to Hunt Deer with a Firearm or Crossbow During Hunting Seasons with the Supervision of an Adult Licensed Hunter."
Support.
And providing for a public hearing thereto.
Support.
Seconds, yep. Any discussion?
The public hearing is for August 12th.
Thank you. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Next up, number 19, Supervisor Borst.
Thank you, Chairman. With your permission, I'd like to block 19 through 24, since they're all the same. Make a motion to block 19 through 24.
Second.
19 through 24. Got a second? Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 25.
Approve the creation and filling of 2 part-time special patrol officer positions.
Support.
Okay, hang on a second. All right. So, county attorney says we need to vote on approving the block first. So
Okay.
we're gonna do that. See, that's why I said do the consent. Block. It's block terminology. I'll blame the attorney. All right, so,
So moved.
got a second. Any discussion on doing the block? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Supervisor Borsch, you wanna do that again?
All right, approve the creation and filling of, hold on. Go back.
Wait a minute, do we need to approve the block now?
You just did.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Authorize pay above start rate for correctional officers.
Support.
Second.
Wait a minute. I was talking about voting on the, we have to vote again on the block section, the number 19 through,
19 through 24, yes.
yeah, okay, all right. Got a second on that?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I tried to make it
Carried.
easier.
Next time you're not doing that, just so you know. Okay, now back to 25.
Approve the creation and filling of 2 part-time special patrol officer positions.
Got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 26.
Approve the reclassification of 1 full-time senior mental health clinical therapist to 1 full-time substance abuse counselor.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 27.
Creating and filling 1 part-time assistant public defender part-time position.
Support.
Got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 28.
Approves the creation and filling of Director of Temporary Assistance and Eligibility Services Workforce Development.
Get a second?
Support.
Thank you. Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 29.
Approves the creation and filling of intensive case manager position.
I get a second? Got a second? Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Oh, who am I going to pick on tonight? I'm going to pick on, let's pick on Supervisor Shipley. Can you do number 30 for me?
Certainly. Resolution to amend existing contracts with Wendell to satisfy the terms and conditions of grants received from the Environmental Facilities Corporation.
We got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Next up, 31, Supervisor Brownell.
Supervisor, authorize a rental contract with South Seneca Central School District to provide a deputy sheriff for extension of school days and violence rebates.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Supervisor Trout, number 32.
Resolution declaring the surplus fuel tank and authorizing auction of the same.
Got a
Second.
second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 33.
Resolution to approve the Tourism Promotion Development Grant Funds for Seneca Lake Resorts for the July 4th presentation.
Work.
Got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Number 34.
Mr. Chairman, I was going to make a recommendation with this one, after revisiting it, and tell me how this process works. We could approve this, but then I would offer an amendment to increase it under the guidelines.
Yeah, if you want to rate it as written, then we'll
Okay.
amend it. We can get a second on it.
Motion to approve the Tourism Promotion Development Grant Funds for downtown Seneca Falls Christmas lights. It's a Wonderful Life Run 5K committee.
Support.
Got a second? Okay, now discussion. Now you got an amendment to it?
My amendment would be under the guidelines set for the policy number 405.100, that it qualifies as a capital improvement with a maximum funding of $5,000 for nonprofits.
How is it a capital improvement?
Well, that was my question the first time, but looking at it, because it's for actual
So it's
physical
renovation or
items
construction of tourism properties.
in the purchase of the Christmas lights.
But that's not renovation, I don't know. Is that renovation or construction of property?
Or other, yeah.
Okay.
It was your argument that convinced me of this last time.
So, okay, with a greater than 5-year lifespan.
I would
Assuming
think the
Seneca
lights
Falls
are
doesn't-
probably LEDs that would last. And I actually, after attending the magnificent July 4th celebration and noticing all the Christmas lights that weren't functioning on top of the buildings, it made me think even more about this particular request. Because their original request, I think, was for $30,000.
I think the whole project was 50,000. I don't remember what, Jeff said. The whole project was 50,000. They had a committed donation, I want to say
They have 15,000 from A Wonderful Run and 15,000 from Bonifiglia Family Foundation. Yeah, the grant request was for 50 grand. Yeah. So my request is to go from 2,500 to 5,000.
Let's make a second on that.
All right, so I'm sorry.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a second on your amendment.
And we do have, I mean, again, Julie's amazing. She really is on top of things. We do have 14, well, after that last, we would have 11,500 left.
Okay. Any more discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, now as amended, please Supervisor Trell.
So, as amended, resolution to approve the Tourism Promotion Development Grant Funds for downtown Seneca Falls Christmas lights, as amended.
Got a second? Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstention? I'm going to abstain. Thank you. Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, can I just make a comment, a committee comment? So I just wanted to add, I wanted to thank Teresa. Oh, damn, she's gone.
He's running out the door.
For her contributions to the Willard Task Force. She's been a part of that process. And also two announcements. One, Planning Department announced they did receive a $500,000 grant for infrastructure improvements, and this will be for the village of Ovid and their water infrastructure project. And also, even though it's another county, $1 million in sewer improvements for the city of Geneva, which, again, it's for the city of Geneva, but that will have a directly positive impact on our Seneca Lake, on Fayette's Seneca Lake sewer project that is going in. So working together as a region, I think those are just notable things for the development of economic development and tourism in Seneca County. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any unfinished business?
I'd just like to mention, I don't know if all of you read an email Scott King, we had our first algae bloom here the other day. It looked like it was right about where the yacht club is or somewhere in there on west side of Cuga Lake. And touching on what Tony Toplano said, the Owasco Lake watershed. You remember that fiasco? They spent years developing rules and regulations along with the DEC and the EPA, and they were just about ready to implement rules and regulations for the watershed to protect the lake. And the New York State just says, we're all done with this. We don't want to hear about it anymore. We're done. So
Right.
that's what we're up against.
But I thought, Supervisor, they went to court, and the court sent it back and said that the Department of Health has to get involved and be part of it. Am I?
EPA said, we're done.
Scott, could you come up, please? Thank you.
Do my best off the top of my head to address our neighboring counties' watershed rules and regs. So, Cuga County enacted watershed rules and regulations 3 decades ago or so, and they implemented those. And in fact, I helped enforce those rules and regulations for, the couple decades that I worked over there. Then a couple of years before I left, so 2018, 17, 18, I forget, they started the process they wanted to amend and update the watershed rules and regulations. And they worked through that process, pulled in the stakeholders and so on and so forth, everyone from farmers to the health department to just average folks who care about the lake. And they came up with a new set of proposed watershed rules and regs, which they submitted to the state, and then they sat there at the state for a very long time. Ultimately, I think, don't quote me on this part, but I think the city of Auburn, maybe in the town of Owasco, filed suit against the state. And it's taken a while to work its way through the courts, and I think the ultimate ruling was that yes, that the State Health Department and Department of Agriculture and Markets too maybe do need to actually act on, and it's really the State Health Department, act on approving or allowing those locally developed watershed rules and regulations. That the development of those was pretty contentious from what I remember. I was involved a bit because there were a lot of additional items put in there for regulation of septic systems and some regulation of farms and things like that, which was pretty controversial, but, you know, I don't want to delve too deeply off the top of my head and get the facts wrong, but that's the general gist of what I remember about their watershed rules and regs. They still have watershed rules and regs they're implementing, but it's essentially the ones that were adopted 3 decades ago, not the updated version at this point.
But Paul, are you saying there's been a recent decision
This was
overturning?
last year when, now Auburn had to take the state back to court because the state says we're not gonna renew or we're not gonna update these rules and regulations.
Yeah, or allow the implementation of them or adopt them at the state, because they don't mean anything until the state allows them to go through,
Right,
even though they're
Scott.
passed
The
locally.
court said, no, you will do this to the Department of Health.
Correct, but I don't know as the state health department has taken action to actually
All right.
do their part yet.
State Health Department denied it.
Supervisor Latini.
I do have a question. I was receiving several complaints this evening over what we call wastewater treatment effluent. So when certain municipalities have a high rainfall, the report is that their wastewater treatment facilities become inundated, and it pushes them, actually shears the biofilm off of the reaction plates or vessels, whatever they're called, and into Seneca Lake. So what we saw last year for a few years, especially after heavy rainfall, is we see floating chunks. They call them floaters, floating chunks. I have some photos that they sent me today, and of course I saw them over the weekend and photographed them. But they're basically sewage chunks from the wastewater treatment. They don't have the ability to absorb high volume water runoff. So do you know if there's any?
That's definitely not a tourist attractor.
Know if the new wastewater treatment designs that the area is looking at have incorporated the ability to absorb that volume runoff, so it's not discharging sewage in biofilm basically into Seneca Lake. Because you have the same issue in future.
I'm not sure I can answer, if new or if plant upgrades or, anytime they upgrade a plant, they try to improve the treatment. But of course, local health departments don't regulate wastewater treatment plants. We regulate anything 1,000 gallons per day or less. Anything greater than 1,000 gallons per day is regulated by the New York State DEC. So I'm not sure as I can answer that. I know there are obviously local municipalities here. I've sent multiple letters of support for instance, Village of Waterloo pursuing upgrades to their combined sewers. That's a big problem. The rainfall events that we get now, rainfall seems to come a lot faster than it did before. And unfortunately, we're left with, 30, 40, 50, 100-year-old. I mean, the Village of Waterloo has a rock sewer that's over 100 years old. And they're trying to get grant money to replace those things so that they can reduce the amount of water that the treatment plant has to try to deal with during an event, right? Because sometimes they're forced to release some of that only partially treated into, say, the canal or wherever their discharge point is.
Where's this fucking microphone?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd want to go on record as recommending folks, take a dip sample or something on their own. Labs probably wouldn't even accept it because it wouldn't be in their container, that type of thing. But well, I mean, I'm going to operate on the assumption that if it was discharged from a wastewater treatment plant without, because it was overloaded, it's probably going to present some amount of risk. Granted, Seneca Lake probably has 1 trillion gallons of water, and I hate the phrase, or the old saying, the solution to pollution is dilution. UV rays and Mother Nature will take care of that stuff in fairly short order. But certainly if you had a direct contact exposure to it, we'd obviously advise folks not to do that or to expose themselves. Right. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome.
Supervisor High School.
Thank you.
So where are these floaters located?
They're in the water.
I know that.
They float, they kind of move around with the current.
Well, the current flows to the north on Seneca Lake, so,
Well, surface, based on the wind direction, they generally
well,
come from the north heading south. That's the prevailing
So where do you think they're coming from?
I have to do a little bit more research, but what we're told, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but what I'm told is that they come from municipal wastewater treatment systems that don't have a bulk way to manage high effluent flows, so it just discharges it. The DEC doesn't like it because it adds a lot of nutrient loading, but beyond that, it's really not much. Anyway, that's my understanding.
There was also, at our last HAB seminar there, they mentioned that they have an algae bloom that will break free from the bottom and float. It could be that.
It's only 2 months below.
And speaking of the algae blooms, we will be, starting tomorrow, probably putting out some messaging about, that be aware of algae blooms type of information, and the DEC's know it, avoid it, report it type campaign, because after I forwarded you that email for the first bloom, which unfortunately was on Cayuga Lake on our side of it.
Well, it's
I
late,
got
it's July now.
Yeah, I got another email
June
after
3rd.
that with another 5 blooms that popped. So it's perfect conditions right now for blooms. Heavy rain, 3-4 days of hot weather followed by heavy rain. I mean, that's what the forecast is for the next 10 days if you look out. I think the blooms have just started for this year. And they show up on Cayuga earlier because it's a bit shallower and warmer than Seneca Lake. But Seneca Lake is potentially susceptible. I know the water treatment plants, for instance, in Seneca Falls, they preemptively today began preventatively treating just to make sure that they haven't seen anything on their filters, none of the algae yet, but they went ahead and took that action. Of course, Waterloo's recently upgraded their plant to deal with those types of things. Ovid and Willard have such deep intakes on Seneca Lake that I don't really worry about those plants. But and that's the balance we try to strike with. We don't want to blast it out there so much that we turn people off from coming to the area, but we're also obligated to inform people of the health risks. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.
Yep.
All right, moving on to new business. Supervisor Reinhardt.
I offer a motion to introduce the following resolutions and any and all new business to come before the board.
Got a second? Any discussion on the Rule 29? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Who wants to do this? Supervisor Brownell,
Yes.
can you do this for us?
Approval of the purchase of a VM server. Whereas the Seneca County Emergency Management Office is requesting to purchase a 1 Hewlett Packard Express VM server. And whereas the Seneca County Emergency Management Office will be purchasing the server of New York State Contract SHI International OGS contract number PM 2085, and whereas the funds purchased for the server in the amount of $24,482.74 are covered in the full of the 2000 State Intermunicipal Commission grant. And whereas the
Smart. Get you off the hook.
Thank you. You don't have to, you don't have to read the whole thing.
I'm going to quit the first sentence.
You got a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. 37, Supervisor Borst. Special order of the day?
Yes. Special order today.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? No, we're not going there. You can talk about that in committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
You too. They fell apart.